1.9% chance to win this game. That's what ESPN is giving Georgia Southern. And to be quite honest, I am not as enthused about anything higher than that percentage. I'm just like, all right. The main thing about this game Georgia Southern needs to do is just play their best. And I think that playing your best will probably serve you well. Play as hard as you can, try to get some opportunities, and walk away with, some type of respect. Can they win this game? I mean, look, anything can happen when you get on the field. But realistically, I'm looking at this game from the aspect to where I just want these guys to get out of here healthy and try to make a run at the Sun Belt. After seeing what I saw at Fresno State, I am very concerned about not just this team this year, but everything in general going forward, because the coaching staff has me scratching my head. But I do like what I see with our offense. I think our offense can actually do some things if the defense can keep things somewhat tight knit. Georgia Southern offense is actually talented. You got some good running backs. You got some good receivers. J.C. French is a solid quarterback. The offensive line is not as young or inexperienced as most people think they are. You got 3 senior linemen that's in the interior. So you have some experience all over the field. The problem is USC is playing at home, and they're much more talented. So when I look at this game, it is really much the total opposite that I thought when we was playing Fresno State. Fresno State goes into Kansas, wet the bed. They take it out on us in the second half when they played us at home. Now, USC obviously ran through Missouri State, put up 73 points, and we're going into this game where the defense is just not there. I was really looking forward to this game when this game was first announced. Coach Clay Helton goes back to his old school. Thought it was going to be somewhat of a game where we could actually, pull it off, which, honestly, anything can happen. We can, no telling what may happen. But after seeing what I saw, somewhat of last year and this game this year, I'm not as enthused about it. The 1.9% that ESPN gives us a chance to win is somewhat disrespectful in my opinion, but I'm not necessarily surprised. It really gives me somewhat of a cause to pause and somewhat of a cautionary tale that if things don't turn around later on in this season, we may need to make some changes going forward. Now, when I look at this game, I'm not even going to talk about any personnel. I'm not even going to talk about any guys. I just feel like Georgia Southern basically needs to put some form of an effort where you don't get ran completely off the field by the middle of the first quarter. Hopefully by, the end of the first quarter, you're still within 7, maybe 14 points, possibly try to find a way to keep this game close. And if anything, you lose by at least 21 points. That's the bare minimum. Anything further than that, I'm probably going to be scratching my head like, yeah, we got a serious problem. Now, it is well likely that we will lose by more than 21. And it really has me concerned a little bit. I know USC is a much better team, and I know that USC is kind of reeling after the last few years, what they've been going through. And it seems like this is a bounce back year for them. But at the same time, they did play Missouri State. And I'm like, all right, that's Missouri State. No disrespect to them. We already know there's levels to this. And I want to think that we are better than Missouri State. But looking at our offense, I think that we should be able to put some points up, hopefully. I mean, we was able to do pretty decent throughout the game against Fresno State, actually being up at halftime. But the defense just did not hold its own. And I think that that's going to be the main factor in this game. I do believe that Georgia Southern is still going to have problems stopping the run. And we're going to have an issue where these guys may run for maybe 2, maybe even 300 yards because we just cannot stop the run. There's no gap assignments. We don't see anything that's showing us that the defense is in the right position. Some people say it's bad tackling. It could be that as well. And I just can't defend how poor he was when we was just trying to stop the run. And this is not a new thing. I mean, we saw this when we played against Boise State last year. I know Ashton Genty is like a generational talent, but dude still ran for like 240 plus. And I don't know how talented the USC running backs are, but I'm pretty sure that they're pretty talented, and you're going to be looking at a situation where that is a very high probability that those guys are going to be able to run the ball very well. Now, when it comes to the passing game, I do have more faith in the passing game where we can defend the passing game. I think our cornerbacks are actually fairly decent, where we can probably get some opportunities if we can bait, the quarterback. I think it's Maivia. I think his name. That's what his name is. Let me make sure that's his name. I think we'll be able to bait them and get some opportunities there, and maybe we can find a way to keep the offense off the field. And that just goes back to us actually running the ball. Can we do that? I mean, maybe so. But like I said, I'm not getting into this video to talk about personnel. I mean, because it's just, honestly, it's almost like not worth talking about. And there's no disrespect to the kids, because I think these kids are going to be able to play as hard as they can, but you just don't know who's what or what else. I think the main basic thing is you make sure that you can stop the running game of USC, because that's like your Achilles heel, and you make sure the offense for Georgia Southern can actually move the ball. So even though you got like a less than 2% chance to win this game, that's what you're going to have to do. I mean, this just boils down to that. I'm not going to say one person or a group of guys that's on the Georgia Southern roster going to have to step up and make a thing. I think it's just going to be a collective effort from every guy who touches the football field at LA Coliseum. That's just how it's going to be. They're going to have to make a concerted effort to try to keep this game as close as possible, going up against a very talented USC team. And like I said earlier, it's very unfortunate, because I really thought when this game was actually put on the schedule a couple years ago, I really thought that this was going to be somewhat of a more even matchup. And maybe it would have been seen as a more even matchup if we played better against Fresno State. But once we saw what Fresno State, what they did as far as running the ball on us, and you turn around and see what SC did to Missouri State, this is why you got a 98% chance to 2% chance of how lopsided this game could be. And as a Georgia Southern fan, I'm somewhat okay with this, because I know what we have in front of us. I'm not one of these guys that's just going to be like, raw. This is going to be a situation where we can make something happen, which it is possible. Like I said, I will always keep that door open. Anything can happen once you get on the field. How likely is it? I mean, you see the percentages on the screen. So it is not, I am more concerned, obviously, based on how we saw Fresno State. And now you're going up against USC. This could be a situation where, this is a situation where you just want to get away from this game healthy. You just want to get away from this game. Nobody gets injured, and you just get ready to play Jacksonville State. And this could give you somewhat of it could give you somewhat of an insight, or just some more reps to actually try to be successful against this team. And who knows, if this game is close in the third quarter, I mean, all bets are off. I mean, all you have to do is just try to find some opportunities and run the clock out. But how likely that is, yet again, look at the percentages, So, but at the end of the day, being a 29.5 point favorite, it doesn't bode well. I don't even think we'll cover the spread. But if we do, that'll be pretty cool. I mean, you might want to put money on that. But other than that, I'm just looking at it like, just get out of LA healthy. That's basically what it is. And it's not necessarily saying I'm conceding and thinking this team is terrible. But once again, there's levels to this. You got to understand that who you're up against, a team that just dropped 73 last week, against a team that basically let another team run for 350 yards. You know what I mean? I mean, this is what you're dealing with. So hopefully things will be different. We'll see. We're definitely going to be here to watch. We're definitely going to be here to react and give thoughts and opinions on the game once the game is over. But it is always will be Hell Southern. It'll always be GATA one more time. And I'll always ride for this team, but I do understand what we're up against. Hopefully we just have some opportunities to make it respectable and nobody gets hurt. So y'all let me know what y'all think. I know this video may be something more of a doom and gloom, but I understand what we're up against. And hopefully other people will feel that as well. And we'll just see how things go once the game is over. So that's pretty much it for me. I'm going to get up out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on Saturday night. All right, y'all take it easy. I'm out. Peace.